Good evening, everybody. How are you? Hope everyone's doing okay. Nice to see familiar faces, even though for whatever reason your YouTube name has changed. I wish I, it's like, it's really that person, Patty. It's okay. If you know my personality type, you know I don't trust anybody. So, ever. Really don't trust anyone. Uh, how is everyone? Like John Smith. John Smith, you're very different now. You have all these extra numbers. Tennis Girl says, "We'll be in and out, getting ready to take to the sky. So happy you're going live." Well, good thing you're not in Europe because they're not taking to the skies over there. Can you imagine? Just would drive me insane. They have the most trouble with their air traffic controllers. Thanks, Tennis. Thank you very much for sharing my email. That is my email. Patty is funny at gmail.com. I am Patty Wilson, and this is Patty's Playhouse. And the email is snark. Like, I'm a snarky person. It's very petty. And it was because I have a sibling who would say, "You think you're so funny." And I would be like, "Yeah." And then when it came down to it, I needed a new email for something in our family. And so that's the email. So every time she would have to type, "Patty is funny." So it's purely petty, but I've kept it. See you, John Smith, in 2 hours. Hi, Susie Q. Hi, Blue River. Now, if your name has changed, I'm not going to memorize your name. Like, I have no idea. So please tell me if your name has changed, who you are, especially if I'm familiar with you through YouTube. Appreciate it. Hey, Caroline, how are you? Hi from Scotland. Everyone, thank you very much to the person that gifted me a membership, to the person that gifted. I'm going to do that today too, because I forget by the end of the month. So I'm going to do that shortly, gift memberships, because otherwise I forget. I'm like, I just need to do it when I remember it and be done with that. Hey, Robin Hood, how are you? I always do this like hi to everyone who's in the chat. They're taking time to chat with me, and it's kind of nice. I think it's nice that people take the time out, tell me who their fake YouTube name is, and type, keyboard, if you will, depending on your era, how long you've been alive. I type. I don't keyboard. Hey, Tater Bug. Robin Hood, hi. Patty with triple quad wise. Yeah. Hi, Tally French. I know who that is. Hope I can stay up that late. Husband is sundowning, and I gotta sleep when he does. Oh my Lord, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. It's just so hard. Just so hard. My husband isn't sundowning yet, but I don't know what I'm gonna do when he does. Like, if I think in advance, I'm gonna lose my head, so I'm not going to. I really try to stay with today and just deal with today. We had a good day today. My husband was diagnosed with dementia in April, and he will be 68. I'm forgetting because he's 9 years older than me. I'm gonna be 59 in a couple weeks, and he's gonna be 68. So it's a lot. I don't like to think about it, as you can imagine. You just really gotta take day to day, because in the end, you could fall down a set of steps and be a completely different person too. So there's really no control in life. But again, my personality type really likes control. So hi Sade. I was in my iCloud looking for that photo of that wall I took with your name on it. I haven't gotten that far because I was so mesmerized by my photos from Italy that I didn't get that far. But I will. I'll send it to you. Hi, Tennis Girl. She says, Caroline's saying, "Hey, Gay, how are you? Gay, Georgia. Is it Gay Smith or Georgia Yes Smith? I don't know. Hi, everybody. I'm usually a lurker. I watch on my TV. Well, thanks for joining us. That's pretty cool. Hey, Bling is the new black. I have your shirt on today. It fits. It's mirrored, but it just says be nut. Oh my God. It says stay tuned. The camera mirrored. I'm gonna change that for a minute because it doesn't say bee nut. Ah, now it says stay tuned. Bee nut. Hey, Blue River. Hey, everyone. Here early, Arlene. Hi, Patty and Patty Cakes. Hope everyone had a nice Sunday. Becky Ireland. I really did. I came in here to work about 2:00 and I've been here since. I went and got a drink and I got a lot done. Redid my signatures like every year, every January or every couple months. I'll redo my signatures on my email. I have to have change. Change is a requirement. So I find change where I can that is not devastating to my lifestyle. So it's the little things, people. Hi, Chris. How are you? Hey, Sydney. I sent an invite out to Max. I don't know if she's going to be able to come on. I didn't hear back. So, hi, Marta. I missed these. I can't believe I was able to catch one of these lives. Well, I am grateful that you're here. I really am. Debbie, how are you? How are you? She is the Arlene, but the name has changed. I don't understand. YouTube or y'all did it or you got locked out. Hey, Debbie Gibby, how are you? Susan Hicks, how are you, dear? I hope to see you. I don't know if you're up to getting around, going for a purified water. I don't want to hurt your immune system, but I'd love to see you. Hey, John. See, John Zoe. John Zoe wants to. I got to change the camera back because I can't stand this. But I like it when it is mirrored, so I don't look opposite of myself. Hey, Stephanie. Hi from Vegas. Did you go see J-Lo? Friend of mine did. She was at the opening night for J-Lo in Vegas. She'll be back tomorrow. We're going for coffee, so I hope to see her soon. Blue River. Such a name. I like that. I like Blue River. Anyone else going back to work tomorrow? Dude, mentally, I haven't been at work yet. You work at a private school and we've been off for the last 2 weeks. How is that? I mean, I've worked. I just haven't worked. Not like to my level, but I did today. I worked. I've been here 7, 8 hours. So the YouTube name changes are driving me crazy. I feel like there's people that used to have a different name that I've interacted with is now another name. That's why I'm asking them to tell us so that we know. Junebug. See, Junebug in the hizzy. What's everyone changing their name for? Is this a choice thing that you've changed your name? Does anyone know? Does anyone care? Whose name changed? A lot of people. A lot. Johnny the Frog Dog's mom. Hi, Patty. Nice to see you. Nice to see you too. You would like to go back to Tinfoil Hat Society. What happened, Debbie? Hey, Harriet. Susan B. I always think Susan B. Anthony. Vegas vibes. I was like, Vogue. Yeah, your name has the year on it. Goodness gracious. Wilt. I always think Wilt Chamberlain, but I don't think that's him since he died. B Rabbit. There's a familiar name. Watching while working, first day back after a break. It's got to be real. It's got to be real. YouTube did it supposedly, so no one can impersonate a content creator or just anyone really. I don't like the name change. Oh, interesting. I don't read those YouTube emails I get. I really don't. Hey, Rayanne. They're going to do what they're going to do. Me knowing about it isn't going to change it. So I don't really spend my time doing that. Hi, Nanya Business. I figured the minute I make a mistake, YouTube's going to tell me pretty well. Hi, Patty. DeAngelis. And Snow. Thank you for the information. You're welcome. So I'm on a GLP which is a weight loss drug. And the company that I gave links out to, Alpha Omega, I guess there's additional regulations and with research peptides. It's a peptide drug, and which is what a GLP is a peptide, which is what the P stands for. And so now it's going to be harder to get that link, that drug from that company. So once they're sold out, they can't sell it anymore. So I went ahead and bought a year's worth, but I've already been on it for a little bit. But then the company Alpha Omega came out and said they're going to bring together and do their own formula. So that would be nice. Debbie Gibby has a lot of snow. Hey, Indy, Nana, Hunrayan. Nice to see familiar names. Kinda. Kinda. I'm glad someone told me. You didn't know about New Year's Eve live? Yeah, I posted it. Like I don't know what you call it on YouTube. I should know, but I didn't. But I did post it and scheduled it. So if you didn't see it, I apologize. But I'm glad you watched or watched as much. It was 5 hours long. It's not even my longest. It was like, I think it was like 32 minutes short of my longest. But it was fun because we had Max in. It wasn't just me talking to myself. Hey, Ronnie, how are you? And when I went home, New Year's Eve, I went to sleep. I had to get up for my dog. So when my husband sleeps, I usually keep my dog at night. His name is Roscoe. So I usually keep him at night and unless I really haven't slept, just so Chris can get, I know he has a solid 8 hours. It's a little thing. It probably doesn't make a difference in the end, but I really try. Hey, Rebecca. How are you? Nice to see your name. Hey, real little Biddle. So cute. Hi, Maxine. I don't have a lot of lighting on in here, so it's hard for me to see some of these names. Green is harder. Hey, Jersey girl, how are you? Katie. Be nice, my ass. I don't know what that is. I try to be nice, I think. Who you're talking to? Did everyone see the picture Patty posted of Jack? So she's a boy? No, she's not a boy. It's Tom Petty. It's a joke. It's a joke, Becky. It was a joke. That she looks so much like Tom Petty. It was Tom Petty's middle school photo. I'm already behind. Ugh. Skeeter girl, hi. I'm so behind. Libby. Perimenopausal paralegal. Hello from Tallahassee. How are you, Perry? Oh, we love you too. Thank you. We're going to change your name to Mia Wallace, the Leering Center. Someone found a actor's ad on Craigslist that they were looking for children for their daycare to show up. They were going to pay like $4,500 for the week for 3 weeks or something. The Adelson family changed their name. You're not smart enough to change your name. I guess because YouTube wanted your name changed, so they do it. They do what they want. It's Google. That should tell you everything. Google owns YouTube. Bunch of Russians. I mean, that's what it is. So you have distant family members who only know you as Skeeter. Diane sounds weird. That's fun. Nicknames are fun. Oh, AJ Mama. Thank you, Amanda. Appreciate it. Yakety yak. How are you? I won't talk back, but that's cheesy. I shouldn't have said that. That was really cheesy. Leisure Linda. Happy New Year to you too. Tell us what you know standalone, please. I don't know what that means. If you're referring to something I said 3 minutes ago, please expand, Katie, because I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. Patty, you look fabulous. Well, thank you. This is work hair day. My hands were through it. But I heard I was on 2020. I have not watched it. Max asked that I share it, and maybe you all know more than I do, but I don't think I can. The 2020 episode because of copyright. I did something, had a little blip of music. I mean, 5 seconds of music in one long night airing of the grievances, and they told me I couldn't post it. Like, I tried to get rid of all the music. I couldn't. You watched it at 2 times. Oh, I bet I sound funny though. Thanks, Debbie. Hey, Sepperson. How are you? S. Epperson, 2NC. It's crazy land. Wondering out loud. Good to see you too. I changed mine on purpose so that no one can dox me if they don't like my opinions. Good for you. You should. You really should. I mean, very few people can tolerate being doxed like me. And even then, I don't tolerate it altogether well. I'm getting better at it. Hi, Sue. Tom Petty was also from Florida. That is correct. You don't give a shit. Rebecca belongs. She is a founding member of the We Do Not Care Club. For sure. I saw a funny video yesterday. It was the 3 Fs. We don't care unless you feed us, fuck us, or fund us. Fund us. So unless you feed me, screw me, or pay my bills, we don't care. And I think the closer I get to 60, it's even more profound. And I'm not independently wealthy, so I have to watch it, but it's tough because I really don't. No, you don't want to work with me? Oh. You don't want to watch me? Oh. You don't want to, oh. You don't like my opinion on addicts? You don't like my opinion on Wendi Adelson? Oh. Man, I got into it. Well, I didn't really get it. I mean, it wasn't a long conversation, let's put it that way. But someone posted in Living Tallahassee that the 2020 episode, Living Tallahassee is a Facebook group that I started and I run it, and it's about Tallahassee. It's a community Facebook group. And someone posted, which I approved, that the Adelson 2020 episode was coming up. Someone, we'll call her Linda because that's her name. Linda was like, she's free, Wendy's free, blah, 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 blah. So Linda wanted to tell me what Wendy's immunity was, thinking that she had full immunity. She doesn't have full immunity. Wendi Jill Adelson, whatever her new name is, does not have full immunity. She has the same immunity that I had when I was subpoenaed to go speak at a civil hearing. That's it. It's limited use immunity. It's derivative immunity. It's what you say on the stand. As long as you're being honest, you are immune from. So, I mean, in my opinion, she should have just spilled her guts because she would have been immune. Then she would have been immune. But she's not immune because she didn't tell the truth. Like 42 times, I think Carl Steinbeck came up with 42 points. So when I said that to Linda, I said, there's at least 42 known lies. I'm not even going to call it a false truth, a misstatement. That's all bullshit. It was a lie. 42. Easy peasy. Let's get to work, Jack Campbell, who's our state attorney. I didn't give Linda a chance. I then said, if I see anyone in this group defending Wendi Adelson, you're out. You're out. Your opinion about Wendi Adelson does not count. You're out. So I know it's very few. I think we've had a couple trolls pro Wendi in here, but the admin, no, just get rid of them. I'm not into a fight. I don't care. I do not care. She needs to be arrested. In my opinion, she likely is not going to be arrested because they're relying on this. I don't know what they're doing. I couldn't even say. I literally boggles my mind. I went to mass today, which I try to do every Sunday, 10:45, and I get there early because my husband went with me. So we get settled and say hi. Some guy comes up to me, sits right in front of me, and he goes, he looked at me like that, and I was like, what are you doing? He saw me on the 2020, and I said, well, I didn't watch it yet. that a friend of mine sent me the link, and I'm gonna watch it, and I asked, "Was there anything new?" And he said, "Not really." He said, "Probably for people who aren't from here, there might be something new." I said, "Fantastic." And he said, "But in most cases for us, it's pretty much the same." And I said, "They should just go ahead and arrest Wendi. This is ridiculous." And he just nodded. I think he's an attorney, but I mean, it's just people are watching these episodes. Like I said, the wind is with the arrest of Wendi Adelson, but I don't know. I just don't see it. I know obviously the case is not closed. Are they waiting for some piece of evidence? And when she's 83, like Allison Galfani's dad, they're going to arrest her? Maybe then. Maybe then. Who knows? I'm done kind of speculating on it. I just hope that Donna Adelson enjoys her half an inch mattress for the rest of her life and that she gets some sort of fungus and can't get rid of it. That's all I can hope for. Aw, thanks, Leisure Linda. Rebecca's like, come at me. I just warned the group. I just warned Living Tallahassee. I'm like Pope Leo. Pope Leo comes out. Oh, no, it wasn't. He quoted John Paul II. John Paul II said, Catholic Pope, I got to get back to the basics here, even if it takes us back to the first 12. Even if there's only 12 of us, we got to get back to the basics. And I've always felt that about Living Tallahassee. I don't make my living on that. It is nice. I do learn a lot. I have a lot of connections. However, if it's me, Living Tallahassee and Wendi Adelson, it's all going down to get Wendi Adelson. I mean, I'll give it all up. I'll take out 65,000 people out of that group in 5 minutes if they all believe one day that if it was a Karen Reed thing. No, you're out. No, everybody's out. Not having it. Oh, yeah. Tell us what we want. I do want her convicted. Of course we do. I mean, this is where it's not Karen Reed. Everybody wants this woman convicted. Everyone believes. Other than this Linda, who I've never even seen her name before. Of course. Of course. And now, not that it's going to matter to her because they're never going after the death penalty on Wendi. In the state of Florida, Supreme Court stated, I think it's a minimum of 8. 8 is all you need for a death penalty case. So Catherine Magbanua and Siegfried, they got away with it. So I was 16. I thought when he was coming here, right? Think you're just a little bit older than me. Sitting behind Harvey. Yeah, my head. You've been watching Thanksgiving family horror videos. You can feel better about your life. My husband's been watching Snapped. So I was making dinner last night and he was watching Snapped. You don't get to watch 2020 here in BC, Canada. If there was a link on YouTube, could you see it, YB? You've got to be freezing, lady. You got to be cold. Hey, Jolie, how are you? I mean, it's just got to be freezing up there. It's cold here. Cannot make it up. Gazillions of dollars. Gazillions of dollars. Gone. Wired out. Just gone. Don't pay your bills. You should not care. I really don't. I obviously have integrity, so I'm going to pay my bills. But other than that, like if somebody came at me and it's just like, I used to in the beginning of this whole, like, just say the hair because it's obvious. You look like a lesbian. I don't care. I do not care that you think I'm a lesbian. I don't care. I don't care that you don't like my car. I don't care that you don't like where my office is. I don't care. Why would I have time to care? I mean, you watch other YouTube channels and they get on people like Lori Conway. She's not on YouTube, but she's on Facebook. She's out of Missouri, I think Kansas City, and either I think it's Kansas City, Missouri, and not Kansas City, Kansas. And that poor woman, she's younger than me. She's a widow, about a year and a half. Her husband just died in his sleep in his 40s. She called it long COVID, but he just died in his sleep. And she's really suffered for it. It's Lori Conway, and she's a giver. Like, she is a giver. She's a high I, like very jovial, very bubbly personality. She's known as the Crazy Busy Mama blog on Facebook, and she's got TikTok and Instagram and what. And she is now addressing it, which you could tell since her husband's passed that it's really bothering her. But I think in about 5 years, don't even address it. Like, you just don't even address it. People are getting on her for wearing a bathing suit, wearing the color of the bathing suit, coloring her hair, not coloring her hair, wearing her hair down, wearing it up, having a messy bun. I mean, picky. Like, who are these people? And she addresses it with him. And her daughter's doing it too. Her daughter's name's Elle. And it's a big lesson in social media for me, because it's none of your concern what my hair like. I am lucky that the majority of people like my hair. I am lucky. I don't really get that much anymore, but I think people do it just to get a reaction out of you. And I hope Lori stops giving them reactions. I'm calling her by her first name like I know her. I don't. Crazy Busy Mama. She's brilliant. She's a brilliant marketer. She's brilliant, and that's what she should concentrate on. But I think some of it is so incredibly offensive, and she still has young children at home. I think not young, like little, but she still has a high schooler. And I think she has 4 kids, and I think the other 3 are over 18 now. But it's hard on, like, her name's Lily. The fact that I even know her name, it's hard on people when you are constantly coming at people. I know when I first started this YouTube, Aaron Coward and Katie Cow Lady, they were really at me no matter what I did for no reason. I didn't know them. I admired what they did. I was a follower there, never paid for. I did pay for Aaron. I was really shocked. Like, how much can you hate somebody you don't know? Apparently a lot. So I think Lori Conway is a really good example of don't respond. But I'm not a new widow, and I don't have her personality type. And she really is taking it to heart, and I pray for her, like openly pray for Lori, because it's a lot. She's built a little empire. She's got a beautiful home. They have multiple businesses, and she's trying to run everything. And the second you take time away from running everything to admonish somebody who's not feeding you, fucking you, or funding you, it really moves your head in the wrong direction, in my opinion. I was at a dinner, and I didn't hear it at first. This was a compliment to me. And someone asked me, how do I do everything? Because I have multiple radio shows now. Praise the Lord. It's my favorite thing to do besides selling houses. I have my husband. I have grandchildren. I have a husband who's not altogether well. I had the brokerage, our business. I have 8 realtors that work with us. I have volunteer work that I enjoy doing. And she said, how do you do it? And the gentleman with us stepped in. I couldn't even respond. He goes, because she's eliminated the toxic people out of her life. And I thought, I didn't think about it at first. I didn't say anything. I just kind of, and then I realized I really have. And mainly, another Facebook reel, the toxic people in your life are usually people you know. The people that break loyalty are people you know. The people who are jealous of you are typically, except in YouTube case, people you know. And they're gone. They're all gone. I wish them well. In my siblings' case, I've forgiven them. I choose not to break bread with them, and that's different. But other than that, Scott and I, Scott's like, Patty, this client, it's not going to work for us. We always have that conversation when a client comes in. You're going to work with us. We're going to want to work with you. We're going to want to work together. That's how the conversation goes in a short nut. And sometimes it just isn't that person. Sometimes Scott gives them to me, or another agent in the office will give them, or we'll just separate them out. Like Saturday, it wasn't gonna work scheduling wise. I handed it over to somebody else. But it has to be that kind of win-win, and, my bills are paid because I believe I have integrity, not because I care. You think I care about Chase Manhattan? I don't. You think Chase cares about me? They don't. Tater says it's a beautiful thing about turning 50 and you don't give a rat's ass what anybody thinks. I just wish they could bottle it and sell it. Like something about turning 50. There was a conversation with Cher. I don't remember who was interviewing her. She was in her 70s. She said, I've been 30, I've been 40, 30 is better, 50, 40, 50, it just depends. But time just enables you to eliminate. And the more you eliminate, the more you pare down your life. Like I am paring down my house. I am getting rid of carloads of crap and either donating it or trashing it. I'm not even trying to sell it. I'm just trying to get rid of it. The more free I feel. Like now I walk in my house and I go, this is cute. I've never felt that in 22 years. I've never felt like this is cute inside. I like this. I like what I created. Never felt that. Never felt like home. Always felt like, So it's a big deal for me to pare things down. And I hope people take the time in their lives and get to do that, because it is a big deal to just eliminate. And I think the new year's a good start for that. No matter what your personality type, decluttering, finding out that your children or your grandchildren will have no interest in your great grandmother's china. Someone on Living Tallahassee asked, who buys china? I didn't respond. I wanted to tell her nobody. Nobody's buying your china. No one. If you have rare pieces and you go on eBay and you have a piece that's rare and you've done the research, good for you. But really, no one's buying an entire set of china anymore. It's not happening. Hey, Gail. Gay. Another gay? That's cool. Comes with age. I have a client whose name's Gay and a client and a friend. Limited use immunity. She actually did say it on the stand. Everyone gets it. It's not special immunity. Yeah, Wendi didn't have full immunity unless Jack Campbell gave it to her and we're not aware of it. Because it sounds like it. I'll call her Linda because that's her name. What is? But, remember that little boy and he was like, Linda. And he wanted a cookie. Linda. That's what I think of. Linda, Wendi, Jill. Yes. Yeah, postmenopausal women. Yeah, that's. The fourth F. Yeah. Every lawyer YouTuber has clearly explained why Wendi does not have full immunity. I know. But it's just like Venezuela. We'll take Venezuela, for example. Biden comes out with a $50 million bounty. And Trump goes in and gets him. Probably costs the same. But people are like, but that wasn't. Yes, it is. If Obama can spend all that money and my kid go to war all those years and lose her hearing, and we really haven't declared a war, then I think it's okay. I think it's okay to go to Venezuela. I mean, you just change rules because you're on a different side of the table. And unfortunately, that's America. But I don't care. I'm happy. I'm a happy girl. I'm a happy person. And I don't know how many people really get to say that out loud in front of 266 of their closest friends. Debbie is a good bouncer. Yeah, she said she was immune from prosecution, world's dumbest attorney. But she's not. Unless there were conversations that were implied, I just don't think so, because they didn't make that scene with every other human being that was on the stand under subpoena. They didn't make that with any of them. Even those blonde attorneys, they didn't do that with them. Lord knows they didn't disclose everything. Is that episode on YouTube? Max sent it to me. It looks like it's on YouTube. Here, let me put it here. It was on Friday night. You saw it on YouTube by an obscure account. I've lost hope too. And I lost hope, as I've stated, and I heard it right in front of me. I was to the right of Georgia Kappelman when it was stated that they asked for restitution. Which that whole thing should be settling out on. I haven't even looked at the official records lately. Judy has to do a live in a bikini with loophole lawyer because Wendi wasn't arrested. That was the bet. Ooh, Patty wouldn't be doing that. Patty's lost weight, but Patty is flabby, and that would not be happening. Wendi will be arrested when she says that implicates her. See Robert Durst. Well, Leisure Linda, I'm glad you found us. Thank you so much. I know. So I'm just going to leave that up for a while. Patty did have to hold Rebecca back. Becky was pissed. And bless her heart, like, we need to go. I need to buy you a gin or whatever you want to drink. Like, we haven't had a drink this month. Thank you. Patty looks fantastic. Well, look at my t-shirts. Stay tuned. And it fits. Like, I'm not kidding you. Like, oh, I've been sitting all day. Now I look wider than a barn, but it fits. Fits. My jacket's all big. My t-shirts are all big. What was the most interesting about 2020 was the lack of publicity regarding Wendi, so no jury influence. Interesting. We covered something. Hey, G. Harley. We covered something interesting on Judy's channel earlier today. Wendi wasn't implicated in the documentary, and a court can mandate that, so a jury pool will not be tainted when selected. That makes total sense. I watched Judy on the way home, and I love that the guest said that, and it came from his dad that was a federal judge. Very good insight. Only trailers. Interesting. You can watch it on Hulu. I looked for it on Hulu because I forgot, and I couldn't see it. It wasn't up yet. You only watch YouTube and Amazon. Harley, oh, I wondered if that was you. You were great on there. Your dad makes total sense, and it gave me some comfort. Patty, that was part of my text, says Marta. The whole text was my dad used to say, if people don't care, pay your bills. You should not care what they think of. Say, oh, thank you. Yeah, I don't care. I really don't care now. Like, I don't know how many layers of I don't care I have, but Chris, April 24th, I am not a person who had clarity. No clarity in my life until April 24th. And now I'm so clear and beyond clear. And I told my daughter the other day, like, I don't know if it's the shot that I'm taking because it works in your brain and the hormones, and I'm not eating as much sugar or junk or really anything, to be honest with you. Fasting is a pleasure. And fasting is supposed to clear your brain. So I don't know if it's that, but I'm like, Molly, since I came back from Rome, it's like I am so organized. My computer is so organized right now after 7 hours today. It's incredible. And that's the thing that now going forward tomorrow, I have other things to do, other daily tasks and closing out last year, 2025, which I'm happy to close out, the rentals and those kind of like bookkeeping kind of things. But now I can because my desktop is clear. It's weird. Very weird. I'm thinking Wendi will never be arrested. I personally think the state and the D's office should not have given her immunity, but everyone has it. It wasn't special immunity. That's what I'm saying. She wasn't given any additional immunity. She was under subpoena, and that subpoena offers her immunity. And that is why, leap to it, the defense wanted her mother wanted her on the stand, and that was she respectfully declined, and the judge declined for her because the defense cannot offer that immunity with a subpoena. Only the state can offer that. You're from Valdosta and love the Southern accent. Oh, nice. YB, we were billed for 5 years in Paramount because my husband is on Amazon. Oh, sorry. I didn't know what that was about. Hey, Vicky, how are you? Yes, you were on 2020. I was excited to Oh, it was my green shirt day. Yeah, it was a good shirt. I wore it last show. It's big now, but I'm still wearing it. I don't care. I had an unknown water leak in my house, which caused me to have an outrageous water and electric bill for last month. Yikes. I'm trying not to stress it, but I know you gotta, it's hard to plan for every catastrophe, especially when insurance won't cover anything. Like I still have issues with my house when the tornado hit it. So I definitely understand. But on the other hand, I'm not selling it anytime soon. So I'm not worrying about it. I can't worry about everything. So I worry about nothing. Really. Now I will grow anxious if I am to meet somebody and I can't get there. That causes me anxiety, not because I'm worried something bad's going to happen. It's that I don't want to take someone else's time, if that makes sense. But that's generally all so I'm typically early. Sometimes, if I'm early for the first appointment and that person's late, then it will carry over, but I always contact the person. You can only pay what you can pay, and you need water. So you've got to just let me know if I can help you with that. Okay. I've been thinking about your fabulous trip to Italy. I don't think you look like an average American. The YouTube videos from the streets of Milan, Italy, love color, and I can see your style there. I didn't get to go to Milano. I want to go. And luckily, I have clients and friends that I've had for years that are buying. She's from Milan. So they're buying a place there. And I was like, ooh, save me a room. Save me a room. One thing at a time. It's all you can do. As a hairdresser, I tell people to wear their hair the way they like it, and everybody else needs to keep their opinions to themselves. Within reason, Tater. Within reason. I would just like to have more hair after these last 2 years, especially the year my hair falls out as I wash and brush. My hair falls out as I brush too. I think I have a typically, I don't know if I'm not balding, but my hair grows with heat. Because if you saw me just wet, all this body would be like nowhere. I was billed 15 months for Audible. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. There's a couple of interesting trials. What are they? Because we're going to need something to do. Mean people suck, don't they? People that defend Wendi suck too. You're going to try to make it to Wendi's trial. Please do. Love that guy. I mean, people are cowards. You know, if you're going to like come at somebody you don't even know who's barely got an audience, that makes no sense to me. And Max was going to come on. I don't know if she's coming on. Let's see if she sent me a text. to talk about that. Like, why? I know it's not about murder or crime, but it is a murder. I mean, if you go with the Bible, when you talk about people you don't know, that's and you're trying to hurt them and take down their livelihood, that's a murder. I wish I could be optimistic. Georgia and the DA's office has really let the public down. Teflon coating, it doesn't sit. I'm losing my hair. Could be from lupus, the chemo pills, hormone blockers. So I say it could be solo act, duo, or a trio. Kathy straight up made a video blaming Allison for the problems between Kathy and Patty. Still promoting that narrative. Can't make this shit up. Huh? Oh, yeah. I think that's what Max was going to come on and talk about. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to send her a text. Hold on. Sorry, my nails. My nails go against the phone. Yeah, I haven't watched those videos, but she has, so that's what she was gonna talk about. I just don't understand, like, Adelson Galvani, who I don't think she's doing any videos right now. If you don't know Adelson, she had a channel called My Father's Alibi. Her father, has just recently been charged with the murder of her mother that occurred in the, like, 80s. Adelson is a brilliant human being. She's freaking professor at Yale in epidemiology, like epidemics. Right? You just don't walk into that job. So she's Dr. Galvani. She's not some failed nurse or failed masseuse or failed HR person. She's not that. She's not a leech that goes after other people's, like, murder victims' families that try to grift and graft off of them. She's not that. Trying to raise money on the back of a murder victim's family. She's never done that. So what is there to go after Adelson Galvani? Other than she's nothing but lovely, respectful, kind, giving. I mean, she'll come into someone's YouTube and throw 20 memberships out the window. Like, she's kind. She doesn't have to. She doesn't have to give me the time of day. She doesn't have to text me or say, I hope you're doing well, Patty, or Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Come let me. She's not blowing smoke. She spends time also where it's necessary and without toxic people. She didn't try to monetize her group. All she was trying to do was have her father charged, was tell the story of her mother. And so she did. And so it did. And I'll be damned. And if somebody literally has to say the problems between Kathy and Patty, the problem with Kathy Kool-Lady, as she is called, I don't know what her new name is. She probably has a new name too, was that, I mean, from the first point, I didn't even have a YouTube, but she turned her back and walked away. So you're not polite as a human, let alone as a YouTuber. You're just not polite. Like, if someone tries to, which is not easy for me, okay? I'm an INTJ person. I don't introduce myself well to people. Humans scare me in a lot of ways. I can sit in this office like I have today for 8 hours and not talk to anybody. I can just listen to music on my Spotify and be a very happy person. So when someone comes up, oh, you're from Pennsylvania, and you literally turn around and walk away, like, to go into the kitchen? It's not even your kitchen. Like, it's Tim Jansen's kitchen. Just odd. But see, the thing is, in my opinion, with people like that, I had nothing to offer her, where Tim Jansen does. You know, because leech is a leech. That's their tale. If they can't, if she couldn't, leech on another startup who was a victim of a crime, a startup YouTuber, and she couldn't get what she wanted out of that. She turned her back and started spewing all sorts of bullshit about her. That's her MO. That's what happens. So it was easy for me, not easy in the beginning because I was just so overwhelmed by it all. Someone made a video to that was decapitation of me. Like, that's serious. That's a serious violation of humanity. Like, what are you doing? This is YouTube. This isn't Maduro. This isn't, you know, this isn't anything else. It's hard for me to wrap my head around it. All because you had a YouTube channel and talked about a case and lived in the town. Yeah, I could have been anybody. But it's weird to me. Like, whatever narrative people think they're promoting, I don't have a hidden channel. I don't hide my opinion. I don't turn and walk away from people. I will inform you. And then, like Linda, who is in the Facebook group, and if you want to promote or have compassion for Wendi Adelson, or really any of the Adelsons, any of them, cousins, uncles, I don't care. Like, I will turn and walk away because there's nothing, we have nothing to talk about. This isn't about religion. This isn't about politics. This is about murder. And that's it. But if you're going to literally espouse that innocent girl, Adelson Galvani, is a leech while you are in fact leeching, that makes you a narcissist, because that's what happens. I think anybody who follows crime knows that. The narcissist accuses people of doing what they've already done. Friend of mine found out his wife been having an affair for 8 years. 8 years ago, she went at him verbally and was like accusing him with having an affair for a coworker. 8 years later, guess what? She was having the affair with a coworker for 8 years. That's how trusting he was. Narcissists, that's what they do. So that's how I feel about her. She's just twat. No offense to anybody who doesn't like the word twat. This isn't your channel because I talk like that. Apparently she is. There are hidden videos. She can't control the outcome, right? So as soon as you put your face in a camera, people can, like, we'll talk to Loophole Lawyer, doing AI with your face or with your voice. Jib Jab does it beautifully. Like, Jib Jab made me look like a freaking rock star. You cannot control it. The second you put your face in front of a camera, you just cannot control it. So, of course, there's people in her channel that aren't 100% loyal to her. They never will be. Nobody here has 100% loyalty to me. It eventually flushes itself out, but I don't sit and worry about it. That woman will sit and be despondent if she ever found out that someone isn't 1,000% loyal to her. She'll be despondent. Where I'm like, started out with 20 people. I mean, what couldn't you do? Catch a hey, sheep fly. How are you? I saw you last night. I was listening to watching Roberta Glass, and I saw your name pop up. You canceled a lot of extras. I hated all the ads on 2020. 10 minutes of show and 5 minutes ads. I can't watch regular TV. It's really hard. I don't typically watch it. Thank you, Jay Reed. It's very nice. I am in the saddle. I had some really nice emails while I was gone. Are you okay? A lot of people were asking if I was okay, which I was, except for I was just, I had leaving Italy let down. I don't know if it's in the DSM-5 or 8, whatever the DSM is now, but a mental health diagnosis. Leaving Italy was tough. It was tough, and I'm like, "Where could I go?" They really did show how insane they were. Just it's not okay, and I'm a person who is in control of her being, like, right here, my 4 little boundaries. Someone comes at you at a courthouse, you you don't really trust them. No, I don't know how to say it, but it's really weird. You used to be Great Dane lady. Oh, thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay Reed. You gotta remove the toxicity for your life, none your business. You think it's because life just beat you down? Well, and it's a big reference, but you go to Herculaneum, and the town is now called Ercolano in Italy, and it's near Pompeii, and you see that life beat those people down. 79 AD wasn't exactly, easy going, right? You are living your life, you gotta, like, mill your own wheat, whatever you're growing, everything is hands-on, stone, wheel. It's 79 AD. There's pretty much ancient times there, right? And 95 feet of ash and lava shows up on your doorstep, and then someone uncovers you. You're laying peacefully, in the afterlife, and they start digging your life up. Nothing matters. Really doesn't, except who you're huddled with. That's what I learned from that place. Who you're huddled with is what matters. But I have to tell you, my little tribe here, I tried to respond to everyone that emailed me while I was gone and taking my quote sabbatical. Just amazing. Just absolutely amazing. Just how kind people were, whether they were sending me a text or an email or just mentioning me on other people's YouTubes. The YouTubers emailed me. Um, just really kind. And all I wanted to do was just get my bearings and decide if I wanted a YouTube, right? I mean, it's not something that was, it was just a fluke, which I enjoyed. And I had to go back and enjoy it again because the letdown of not seeing Wendi arrested immediately. And then, like with my husband, thing that's changed recently is his hair. So he used to, and I mean used to as in like 5 weeks ago, he would do his hair. Like he still doesn't have any gray. He's a blondish, like ash blonde, and he would do his hair, blow dry it, comb it, spray it. Not anymore. He'll blow dry it, and he looks like freaking Willy Wonka. He kind of resembles Gene Wilder anyway, or Michael Keaton. And so now, every day, this is all new. I am His hair is clean and it's blown dry, but it's like out to here because it has natural curl. It just goes everywhere. And he's like, I don't care. Well, Chris, you do. And you do. You just don't know how to do it. So I don't make a big deal out of it. I just say, go get your comb and your hairspray. He uses different hairspray than I do. And so now I'm styling his hair every day. And it's not something um it's, it's a big thing because he's so vain. He's so vain. Um, buttons not being aligned, his collar's not being aligned. Some of it is, maybe age, I don't know. Um, to me, it's a big deal, and I don't mind doing it. I love doing it for him, but it's just something where I'm like, "Oh, this is a thing. Like, this is real. This isn't going away anytime soon. This isn't, gonna change or reverse, it's just not going to." So, now I'm doing his hair every day. So I make sure I have enough time in my day that I can, style his hair. So, yeah, it's, things like that, you're gonna go spend, um, hours on YouTube, which I enjoy, but I'm definitely gonna do it at night, and, I think rarely in the afternoon anymore unless there's a trial that's available. And then the other medical thing, and in fact, Professor Joe brought it up to me, why I couldn't come back. Um, um, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing, but, oh, sorry. My, I mean, they haven't made a formal announcement yet, but my daughter-in-law is pregnant, and, so their baby is only 7 months old, and she's about 3.5 months pregnant, which apparently was a planned thing and wonderful. They wanted, like, Irish twins is really what they wanted. So some very close together. My daughter's girls are 14 months apart or 13 months apart. So they wanted that. They wanted that feeling where they were super close together. And, anyway, she had complications, and she came home. What was going on? What, Thanksgiving? My son and her came back from Ohio to come home for Thanksgiving, and her intent was to stay through Christmas anyway, but she struggled, and that's when they had to tell people that, she was pregnant, and, so she needed help, so I had to help with the baby, and now she seems to be out of the woods. First trimester's over, and she seems to be out of the woods, but we did a, gender reveal on Christmas Day. So, that was fun. That was my Christmas present, was I got to do the gender reveal, but I had to take care of her. Like, I take care of the baby. I just couldn't not do that. And so while I was trying to do that and they didn't want anybody to know, which is understandable, so that's why I didn't tell anybody, but it wasn't my husband, it was my son's family. And, in the afternoons, hopefully, a couple days a week, I'll be able to go and help her because she works remotely. So I'll be able to help with the baby while she gets her job done. She has a big job, and so she'll need help, and that's why you have grandchildren. That's you wanna help. Like, I don't wanna be their living babysitter, but I wanna go see the baby as he's growing up, so I'm pretty happy about that. I am your menopause. Oh, it's funny. Thank you. One of the blessings of menopause, well, my menopause was a long time ago because I had a hysterectomy, so I had a long time ago. 90 is the new 80, it's funny. So anyway, that's the story of my family, and just be right back. Okay. It is incredible. It is incredible. I mean, I wouldn't have had 2 kids like that super close. My kids were all 3 years apart, almost like exactly. But if you can do it and you want it, you want that feeling. I know with my 2 granddaughters, they're very close. Now they are at each other. I think my daughter's going through it now, which I kind of enjoy. Um, but everybody lives their family's life. It's not my say. But I'm certainly not, if I'm here and I can help and it's Christmas time and it's slow showing homes, not other ways, but it's slow that way, I'm going to go help that baby. Me too, Patty. I had a hysterectomy at 32. Yeah, I didn't go there. I forget. I was like, I mean, I was with Chris. It was like 2010. Maybe it is that long. I mean, it's a long time. I was like, I'm not good with that. Like somebody's like, I had a hysterectomy in 1985. I would have absolutely no idea. But I know it was before I had grandchildren. Your kids are 11 and a half months apart and very close, but it was difficult when they were younger. Oh, yeah. It's very difficult. And pray for Debbie's daughter. It is, I mean, getting pregnant for me was not an issue. Getting pregnant in my dad's side of the family was never an issue. Like it was there's usually like one or two in each branch of the family in each longer limb that had a struggle, with adoption or I had a cousin, second cousin, she adopted, then they got pregnant. But she went through so much infertility. I'm like, so much. And it's so hard. I've shared with people, I've been very open about it in my life here. But back in the day, I mean, James is what? My son will be 31 on the 7th. And so back then, I donated eggs and your tubes had to be tied. And I think James was like a year old. So, which was my tubes were tied when I had him. And like a week after I had him, which was a mistake. I should never have done that. I should have waited just to heal a little bit. It was too much pain after having him because he was trying to kill me. But I donated eggs. And so you go through that when you're like, I'm trying to give somebody an egg. And meanwhile, I'm going through infertility basically to produce bigger, better eggs. It was bitch. I only did it once. It was a bitch. Made me a bitch too. Hey, Dancer Redhead, how are you? Your sibling and you are about a half a year apart. My gosh. Mm-mm-mm. You hit it in your late 40s. Glad that time is long gone. I can remember showing homes in the heat of the summer here in menopause and just telling people to go look at the house while I put my head in the freezer. Like I would literally stick my head in other people's freezers because I couldn't take the heat. It was horrible. They don't warn people about the repercussions of tubal ligation. But if I had not done it, I would have gotten pregnant right away. Guaranteed. I was a mess. Your sister and you are Irish twins. Every year on her birthday, we're the same age. Isn't that fun? Happy birthday, too. You just had a birthday. No eggs here. You closed. Yeah, they don't warn people. Like I was in so much pain. They put me on morphine, so I couldn't nurse. But James was in the NICU, so it didn't really matter. Ugh. I just remember. I don't remember a lot of surgeries that I've had, the pain, but that I remember. It was like a truck was sitting on my ovaries. It's tough. Irish twins, though. I remember when my daughter had those two together, and I was like, okay, you go. You have fun with that. Now those girls are so much fun. Your mother-in-law called you Fertile Myrtle. Mm. You had a hot flash of your 30th high school reunion. Yeah, people don't understand. It's not like you're hot in a car. It's just this internal heat. Taking clothes off does not help. It doesn't help. Just never let them outnumber you. Well, I did that. I had 3, and I always share with people, if you're gonna have 3, have 4. Because even numbers are just better. It's just easier on the 3rd one if you have a 4th one. My kids are 15 months apart, no family to help. Husband went undercover. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was a single mom for long a bit, but that was my choice. Burning, sweating under your skin. That's the best way. Oh, your granny said granddaddy could just hang his trouser on the bedpost. That's a lot of information for a grandchild to know. Mm-mm-mm. You're an L&D RN. See, that is one part of nursing that I knew I was never going to be a part of. I think that mechanical menopause is far worse than in the natural. Well, they let me have my ovaries, but still. Ugh. Hey, Murder. Thanks for the chat last night in Roberta's. That Rob Reiner case will set me off. It will. All these like social justice, social warriors, oh, he was an addict. Oh, he was a schizophrenic. Oh, he was bipolar. Oh, his parents were rich. Oh, they took him to a party. Oh, they didn't. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Everybody shut the fuck up. He slaughtered his parents in their bed. It was planned. He went in and did it. He left. He tried to cover it up poorly while washing his ass in a shower of a $400 a night hotel. He knew exactly where he was going. He walked. He was clothed. He was clean. Went to a convenience store, got a drink, came out. Marshals were rounding up people for ICE, I think. He saw them. Put your hands up. Hands went up. He laid on the ground calmly. That is not tweaking or a schizophrenic episode. Sorry, it just isn't. I was going off at that. I'm sorry. I am a fan of Rob Reiner's talent, right? His wife's talent. She was an amazing photographer. Come to find out, Trump's first book, which I have here somewhere, I think, she did the photo. She was an amazing photographer. Very talented. It is really hard to be the child of someone that you cannot compete with them. My father, absolutely brilliant. Brilliant mathematician, vice president of a global company. Amazing. I could not compete with that. I didn't try to compete with that because I knew I couldn't. Well, I tried to compete with that. I tried to go to engineering school and promptly flunked out. Now, if I didn't have the self-confidence as a human that they gave me or raised me to believe in myself, that flunk out, I could have become some sort of addict, I guess. That failure could have turned me into a different kind of person. It didn't. I just went and got a nursing degree. So it wasn't even a thing, right? But if you put all your hopes and dreams into competing against other people, which is kind of what we were talking about earlier, you will end up failing everyone, including yourself. And that is what Nick Reiner is. He's a failure at life. He's a failure at morals, integrity. He's a failure as a person with a mental illness. And I can speak from personal. And so that's when I say, blame the addiction, I will eliminate you from my life. Blame the parents, I will eliminate you from my life. I can see it right now. Alan Jackson is going to go, he groomed him, he did this, he did that. It is going to be the victim blaming of all victim blamings. And it will be really hard for me to just cope. If you haven't had addicts in your family close, shut up. Shut up. Because all the parents of addicts feel is terror. That's what they feel. They feel absolutely 100% terrorized by the addict. The stories I have from my husband's nieces will turn your stomach, so I don't share them. But the manipulation and the terror that they put my sister-in-law and her ex-husband through, unlike anything I'd ever witnessed. Shut up. If you have not witnessed it in your family, not counsel them because they're all inane liars. Every addict's a liar. That's what they have to do to get more junk. They have to lie. So just shut up. You weren't in the house. The family tried to cure this boy, cure him, which there is no cure for stupid and selfish. There is no cure for either. There are plenty of people that overcome their addiction and don't murder their parents along the way. That's why with that Drina girl who testified against Donna Adelson, and she's going on YouTubes everywhere, getting whatever list of wish list she had going, and people are giving her stuff. From what I'm told, I do not know firsthand if stuff was provided to her. You're dumb. You're dumb. You know why it's dumb? Because she's going to turn around and sell it over down on Holton Street, go and fuck somebody and sell that fucking iPad or whatever the hell it was. Nike. I don't know what was on the list because I really don't want to know because it's very upsetting. That's what's going to happen. They could not control him. What they should have done with that kind of money and a alleged, which I saw on Roberta Glass's chat, $10,000 a month allowance, is send him to freaking Nicaragua. Send him to Venezuela. You cannot fix it unless they want it fixed. That's why with Drina, giving her anything over that's why I refuse to give cash to anybody on the street. I absolutely refuse. If you need my help, I will work to help you, but I will absolutely not give you cash. No way. No way. If you want me to buy you a sandwich, I'll buy you a sandwich. I'm not doing it. Will not do it. People don't want sandwich. They want to fix. Now there's a guy around town who's brilliant. Again, it's marketing, right? He has a cardboard sign that says, "Why lie? I just need a beer." Fair. That is fair. Then I will go buy you a beer, but I still will not give you cash. No, I will not. If you want to trade your beer out later, that's fine, but I'm not giving you cash. No. But all the social workers in the world will not convince me that Rob Reiner did something wrong. Just will not. Or Shirley Reiner, God help. Those people did not want their son to be alone. It was Christmas. They invited him to a party. Conan said, bring them. Conan, who is not responsible for this either, Conan, was stopped the guests from calling 911. That would not have changed the outcome. If it wouldn't have been that night, it would have been another night. Because that man knew what he was doing when he did it. He had access to the house. He was living in the guest house. Someone's like, well, he trashed the guest house. This man, as Roberta went into the story, broke a window on purpose to have himself declared so he could get additional Wellbutrin, of all things. Why Wellbutrin? That's odd. Was he shooting it up? So before this chat, people want to tell me, do not tell me. Do not. Because the stories I have from my two nieces, they were twins, fraternal twins, and what they put my sister-in-law through, I have no comment. I just don't want to talk to you. So you can be in the chat, you can watch me go off, but I will not have a direct conversation with you where you are trying to tell me that someone else is at fault for those two behavior. No, what's at fault was them and their fucking dealer. That's who was at fault. I cannot stand addicts and I cannot stand alcoholics. So that is my judgment and I have to deal with that. But again, I will buy you food, but I will not give you money. Just will not happen. You have no idea what these addicts are willing to do to harm their loved ones to get the next hit. I don't even like going back in my mind and thinking about it. It's been years since they've died. They're both dead. Twins. Both dead. They tried everything. You know what? And let them live on the street. You got to let them live on the street. You can't fix it. Recently there was a kid on the street, TMZ found him or someone else found him and realized who he was. And he'd been on Nickelodeon, which thank God I never watched Nickelodeon with my kids. And I don't think they watched Nickelodeon. They may know who he was. But the guy looked 70 years old. He's like 40, 70 years old. And they put him in rehab and got him some clothes and got him some food. They handed him cash. As soon as they handed this guy cash, I was like, I can't even watch this right now. You want to get him a shower? Go get him a shower. You want to get him a room so he can sleep not on a concrete block? Go get him a room. But absolutely, I watched this video. Give him, it makes me so upset, cash. They gave him cash. Now then, somehow that got turned around and he's off in a rehab, which there's very few rehabs that really work and they're very expensive. I hope it works. Like I hope it works for Drina. I hoped it worked for those two girls that were my nieces. The need for the hit, I don't know if it's psychological, physical, both. It's outrageous. But don't tell me, come from it. Went from a social worker side of it. As soon as I see MSW or else, like whatever, LS, I will literally just lose my shit because you don't know. Unless someone in your family has attacked you to get a hit, I don't want to hear about it. I have not seen that, John. I give it all to the sad people on the street. I don't care if they, I mean, great. I mean, if you want to give it to them, they can. I'm just not going to contribute to it. If you need a cheeseburger or a vegetable, fine. But I'm not going to help you get the next hit. Absolutely not. Fruity Pebbles are still excellent. And truth be told, Mr. C, I buy Flintstone vitamins and take them. So, truth be told, it is tough for parents of addicts. And you wonder, what the hell did you do? You just wonder, what the hell did you do? Even gift cards they can sell for cash. So, I mean, I'm not doing a gift card, but I understand what you're saying. I'm not doing it. I think I saw the same thing. Didn't he put a microwave or a refrigerator in the bathtub? Let me get his name. His photo is very upsetting. His name was Tyler Chase, and he was on Ned's Declassified School. He's been struggling with severe bipolar disorder and substance abuse. And my husband isn't here to say anything, so I'm going to say it for him. My husband is bipolar, and he is schizoaffective disorder. And he was diagnosed, he got married at, I think, 35. So it was somewhere around 37 or 38 he was diagnosed. Before that, he had self-medicated with liquor. He was never an alcoholic, but he did like brown liquor. He worked. He had an appraisal firm. Once he was diagnosed because he was given a steroid cream. And he had a rash on his chest, and they gave him a steroid cream, and he went berserk with the steroid, which happens. That was how he was diagnosed. And he had to be hospitalized for like a week, I think, till they got him some medication. And then it's about the right medication. And Chris is like, I mean, you wouldn't even believe what kind of rock star he is to be able to not become an addict. Cocaine and who was it? The lady who played, what's her name? Princess Leia, Debbie Reynolds' daughter. She was bipolar and she took cocaine. Cocaine in somebody who's bipolar or ADHD does the opposite. Like Ritalin is an amphetamine. Ritalin with someone with ADHD, it does the opposite. It slows you down. Chris said he tried cocaine once when he was much, much younger, like in his 20s, and he said he felt like he was he was on the mountains. Like, he said it was the most incredible thing, and then he never did it again because it scared him. Praise the Lord. Um, but any amphetamine is gonna if you're bipolar or ADHD or ADD, it's typically gonna do the opposite for you. So that's why people try to get Ritalin, because it speeds them up if they're not one of those, folks that have the diagnosis. So Chris gets diagnosed, and eventually they get a divorce, and she was cheating on him. She's dead now, so it's no big deal. And she was cheating on him, and then I meet him. So when I met Chris, we were at TGI Fridays, and I was actually interested in someone else. I was separated from my husband, and there was a gentleman who has since passed away. He had MS. But I was very interested in him. He was tall, dark, and handsome to me. And but he had MS and he struggled with it. I knew he had MS at the time because he told me. I was a nurse. When people tell you you're a nurse, they tell you your whole story. And so he was kind of going through it with that diagnosis. He was kind of angry. And I was leaving anger. Why would I want to date anger? It wasn't happening. So I met Chris. We were friends at first for a few months, and then we started dating. And our second date, we were at Outback, and I ordered a beer or a drink or something, and he didn't. And I can remember so clearly, we were having our salad. We both like blue cheese, and like a lot of blue cheese, but we both get it on the side, not on top. And so I was like, that's a sign. This is a sign. And I said, are you not going to order a drink? And he's like, no, no, no. And he looked down. He like looked down at his salad. And I was like, I didn't say this out loud, but I was like, I asked the wrong thing. You could just tell there was almost shame in this, right? In the question. And I don't know what prompted it. I was like, I'll never forget. I'm like, are you bipolar? Like, he said something about he no longer drinks, and he said something else, and I just literally blurted out, are you bipolar? And he said, yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. And that was that. I just moved on. And then when like a few years ago, he had some anger issues, and I was cleaning out his closet, and I found those teeny tiny bottles of Fireball. I was like, gotta go. Because that was the deal when we got married. If I found him drinking or really going against the chemistry of the medication, he was out. Like, I didn't care what would happen. It was done. So when I found the Fireball, I was like, this has to go. Like, this is why you're angry all the time and you're just being an annoying punk. And this has to go. It's affecting your medication. And it did. It went out. And he hasn't had a drink since. And I checked the closet because I don't trust anybody. I'm not going to believe him when he says he does. Now he can't get access to anything, right? But I don't believe him when he says, I'm not drinking. I'm proving he's not drinking, but he doesn't have anger problems right now. So, but anyway, that's what happened. And then you just cannot believe anything they say. You just cannot believe anything they say. And you have to be willing, if you're marrying that, my husband, again, it's most people who are bipolar of schizoaffective disorder. He doesn't see people. He doesn't hear voices or anything like that. But he's been on constant medication, extremely disciplined. And that where I'm like, Chris, you should have written a book. Like, you should have wrote a book, because you are such a, it sounds cheesy, but you're such a rock star when it comes to this. 99.9% cannot do what you've accomplished. They just can't. They just can't do it. They don't have the discipline. And they want to self-medicate, and they don't like the feeling of the medication they're on that stops them from being manic. So when I was on weight loss medication, which was phentermine, was what it's called, I was on it the first time, no problems at all. I was like, it's fantastic. I'm losing weight, not eating, blah, blah, blah. And so she only lets you have it the doctor only lets you have it like 2, 3 months at a time, and then you have to be off a couple months, then I asked for it again. So it was November a year ago, I asked for it again. I was like I took it, and I can remember being so it was the same prescription, same formula, same generic, same everything, and so sleepy. I was so sleepy, and I was at the Veteran Day Parade because run or I did run, I don't do it anymore, a festival that goes along with the Veterans Day Parade, so I ran the festival. I just don't have time now, and I remember my friend, Laura was with me helping and her friend Jennifer, and I was like, "God, I'm so sleepy. I cannot get over this. I'm so sleepy." And I don't remember how the conversation went, but I was like, "Yeah, I've been taking phentermine and I'm just for whatever reason, I'm so sleepy on this medication." I'll never forget. Jennifer goes, "That's because you have ADD." And I was like, "What?" And she goes, "So I'm like 56 years old, 57." And I was like, "What do you mean?" I'll never she's like, "You have ADD. That's why you're so sleepy." And it just like first of all, I've lived my whole life and no one has ever said that to me. And she's like, "You didn't know? Like, how do you not know you are ADD?" And I'm like, "I didn't know." But now it all makes sense because I'm so sleepy from this pill. So I went off the pill because I didn't like how I felt. I didn't like feeling sleepy. I mean, there were nights here where I would work late and I would just be like, "I don't think I can drive the 5 miles I'm supposed to get home. Like, I'm gonna have a problem." And, so I went off of it. As soon as she said it, it was like the next week, I was off of it. You can't go off, like, completely right away. You have to kinda wean yourself. So but it is an amphetamine, but it is used for weight loss, but for me, it was like, I just wanna go to bed. But I didn't like how it made me feel, and people who are on, like, lithium salts, which I know they still use it, um, they don't like how they feel. They're used to feeling peppy, and then all that pep, like, for me with phentermine, all that pep is gone, and what do you do? So, it's a real thing, I do believe them, I just will not tolerate it in my life, and so things like that. Jackson will get nicked off. Oh, change meds that month. Never mind all the violent smashing of the house over years. Exactly. As soon as someone doesn't get their way and they're an addict, they will manipulate and harm you to get their way. And I mean harm, which is what they did. He slit their throats. Apparently, they sealed the autopsies. There were multiple stab wounds. I mean, so much so, that poor child of God that found her parents didn't even know her mother was in the bed. She didn't even know she was there. The family wants him to be in a mental hospital, which this is a family of enablers. That's what they're gonna do. So bad. I don't no money. Tennis girl says the only thing I'm certain is Jackson will not allow any resolution until he has all the money he can get. Someone said last night on Roberta's show that hopefully he spilled his guts before they hired Alan Jackson. I mean, Carl Reiner left money, probably had money in a trust. He was getting $10,000 a month. He which I didn't know. Never occurred to me that Rob Reiner had siblings. I don't know why it never occurred to me, but he did. So he had siblings. So other people may, you know, it's just not a good example for the rest of the world. Not that that's their job, but I don't think it matters how much money you have. All that matters when you have a addicted child or children in my family's case. Apparently, Romy, the daughter, had also been to rehab. Um, you can see now why so many celebrities get out of Hollywood because they don't want their kids in that. The availability is so high. I went to a Catholic high school. It was an inner city Catholic high school called Bishop McDevitt. It's very well known for its sports and all the sports players, pro players that made their way out of that school. And it's in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. So it's in the city. And we had much higher drug problem in our school than the city public schools because availability and cash. And that's when I learned, like, no, no, I'm not tolerating it. It was horrible. It was horrible to see my friend who is, his brain is fried. He probably looks like that Tyler Chase. And he's 58 years old. He was a casting director because his cousin was the producer of the first Cosby Show. And so he got casting jobs. He was Rita Moreno's assistant for a long time. We were best friends. And he just turned. Apparently, he liked crack. And remember, Whitney said crack is whack, but this boy liked crack. And selling himself. He liked that too. So I was like, I was like, I just cannot have it around me. It just cannot. It's just so repulsive. Stuff for spouses of addicts. Oh, it is. I mean, Chris could have easily turned the other way. Parents refused to do the Al-Anon. Well, I would say we'll do the 80-20 rule. 80% of the people of the world don't have the time, the funds, the ability to deal with their problems or to have the self-awareness. Like, I can sit here and tell you where I fail, and I'm good with that. Where I failed my kids, where I failed my husband, where I've been hard on my husband, I'm good with that. Most people, and what I'm learning is all more about personality types, the Myers-Briggs, which I know isn't exact, and it's not an exact science. I get it before anyone comes at me, bro. But it's entertaining for me, and I enjoy it, and it's helps me understand other people. Obviously, you have nature versus nurture, but my natural personality is to be introverted. My natural personality is to be intuitive. And because of that, I'm interested in personality types and self-awareness. But you can see younger people, they just want to blame the parent instead of going, well, I'm different than my dad. I can't be my dad. I don't have the opportunity that my dad had. I chose to, I didn't choose being a female, but I chose to go get knocked up real quick and marry early on. And I didn't marry a good match in that way. So you have issues from the day it started. But you got to have some self-awareness. You got to have some self-awareness. You have to have, like, just knowing who you are is so important. I don't see how anyone can be successful at anything, whether it's nursing or car sales or working in a factory, without knowing who they are. But to do that, to take the time to do that, you have to have the funds to be able to either pay for YouTube so you don't have to watch all the ads because that would annoy the hell out of you, or go to school or take a loan out and go to school. You have to have the ability. So I don't judge that much, but it's hard to look at yourself and say, maybe I wasn't the best parent. I was the best parent I could be at the time, but maybe I wasn't the best parent. But blaming, when I hear my other siblings blame my parents, oh, no. I will not tolerate it. I will not tolerate it because you had the same 365 days a year I had. We all grew up broke. We all had that thing. Dad didn't make any money till later in life. Don't want to hear about it. Sorry. Change your mind. Change the way you think. My daughter's a teenager. She tried to test the boundaries. I'm in the military. She vaped, cut class, tried alcohol, but I put a stop to it. Took me a while. There are at least 2 years. Mm-mm-mm. That vaping. Ooh, I wish they'd stop selling it. I'm a libertarian, and I really wish they'd stop selling it. Fruity Pebbles vape? I mean, what the hell are you putting? Go have a cigar. I met a guy at one of our cigar places. It's closed now, but we would sit and smoke at the cigars at the flea market because one of my friends had a setup where he'd sell cigars right there. It was really fun. And guy comes up and he said, I'm an addict. I smoke a lot of pot. And I would like to introduce cigars into my, day to help me get off pot. And so the guys taught I didn't know enough about it, and I certainly don't know enough about smoking pot, but he's like, "The second I wake up, I smoke a joint." And he said, "I just need to really get off of it." But I would think from what I know about the people who getting off of vaping is far more difficult, far more difficult. I wish they would get Fruity Pebbles. Who does that? And I think they think, "Well, I'm getting off the cigarettes, so the vaping will help that," but then this is far harder. I found out this week my granddaughter uses Head& and Shoulders for a face wash. Good on you catching it early. Carrie Fisher, thank you so much. Mm-mm-mm. Outback had the best onion ring blooming. Yep, Chris liked it. You finished your color chart. Good for you. I used to eat a whole blooming onion. Let's see. I'm glad you got out. My daughter just turned 18 and graduated high school this past June. She pulled up her GPA and made it through high school, now in junior college. Yeah, I think, I mean, peer pressure is another and so when you have a millions and millions and untold I mean, I think Rob Reiner, some of the numbers were like $300 million. I mean, he was just so incredibly talented. And you're trying to compete with that in your own mind, like, "Well, I'm a screenwriter. Why can't I get nepo baby?" Well, you're just not this good. Like Kate Hudson, we'll give her that, and Goldie Hawn. She looks so much like her mother. She sounds like her mother, but she's not her mother. She's funny, but in her own way, and she probably went through it growing up, like, "Why can't I be Goldie Hawn?" Because you're not Goldie Hawn, but you're sure as hell a great and Kate Hudson. And I don't know how you give your kids that security in themselves. I don't know. I would think it's a lot harder with money than without. And someone said to me a long time ago, God doesn't like money. Look who he gives it to. And look what happens to them. It's just so sad. But Rob Reiner was so talented. And I mean, he gave his kid a movie. He gave his kid a movie. And the whole time the kid's like looking at him with disdain. He hated his father, probably because he was so jealous. Just so sad. Hey, take it to trial. I like that. I like that. I don't know if your name changed, but I like it. I have a long way to go to get grandkids, none on the horizon. The last thing I did with her in the last 2 years was tell her that she was gonna go live at my parents' house. Well, good for you. Mm-mm-mm. Hey, Dawn, thank you for that information. What is it that I use now for weight loss? Hold on, let me get it to you. I don't remember what it's called. I don't know why I didn't memorize the name of this. So I just called it a GLP-3 because it's so different. It is begins with an R. Hold on. Retatrutide. Retatrutide. I'll put it in the chat. Retatrutide. The GLP-3. It says it mimics GLP-1 and GLP and glucagon hormones for weight loss. Developed by Eli Lilly, it's showing significant weight loss in trials, often referred to by its experimental code, blah, and nicknamed the triple G for its 3-hormone action. It's like Wegovy or Ozempic, like Zepbound, and glucagon receptor, leading to greater appetite control and weight loss. Clinical trials show it can achieve very high percentages of weight loss, exceeding results from the current single or dual hormone drugs. It is currently in advanced clinical trials, phase 3, and is expected to become a major next generation obedient treatment. Eli Lilly is the same company behind Zepbound and Mounjaro, which is both tirzepatide. Mm-hmm. We'll go through all the stuff. If you look up GLP-3, that's all you need. I love it. I can only speak from my experience. "2020 showed me at the Adelson trial. My head. I show my head. Isn't that nice, though? Stabbing is some serious hate. Yeah, I think somebody's like, he's tweaking. The Tyler Chasen is his name. He was tweaking. Tweaking, you can't move that fast when you're tweaking. Haven't you ever seen it? They're literally like, what do they call it? Fentanyl fold, where they're like bent over and they're catatonic in that same state. Someone in rehab said he would lie to get meds in rehab. Like, who doesn't? Go to the jail and work a jail. See what the lies are there. That's why I tell you, there was no way Donald Adelson was on drugs at the jail. It just does not happen. It doesn't. Like, well, he has to be medicated. No, he doesn't. He could just be dumb. He could just sit there like a dumb fool, like Charlie Adelson did. Doesn't mean they're medicated. It does not happen. And it really doesn't happen at Leon County. I think he discovered they cut off his supply of cash going back to Nick Reiner. And when he left, and that's why he went back to the house, they truly tried everything. Nope. He can still get the money if he's convicted. Well, they would have to go to probate court, but it's California. And no offense to all of you that live in California, but California is going to California. That is what happens there. It's going to California. Everybody has a story and everybody believes it. And the sooner we all just get over that. Patty, I missed you. Hey, Pediatric. So glad to be here tonight. Have you listened to Nick Ryder on the Dopey podcast? It's so telling of manipulation. I cannot listen to addicts. Watching Drina at the trial was more than I could handle some minutes. I believed her. It's not that I didn't. It's just I see the result of what she looked like before all of her years of drug and then after. And And no offense to any former addict. I think in her case, the years of abuse and the years of harming herself in a lot of ways is so profound that it just fries your brain. And that's probably where Nick Reiner was. He started at 13. It's really, really hard. You have to have self-discipline and you have to want to stop. I mean, if you've killed your parents in their sleep, you don't want to stop. You want more and more and more. And the devil has a hold of you. Let's face it. The devil has a hold of you. I was listening to some guy on YouTube I'm not even going to give him a name because once he said it, I couldn't listen to him anymore. But he said he wasn't an atheist, but he understood atheists and that the way he thinks, he doesn't want anything that he doesn't believe is the truth, but no religion is the truth. I was like, what are you talking about? I mean, that didn't make any sense. And I was like, what the hell am I listening to? So I don't listen to it anymore. I mean, like, you don't taste it. You can't have that in your brain. You don't have to believe in religion to be my friend, but he was just talking for the sake of talking is all I could think of. And you can't look at Drina and think, God, she's going to be healthy one day. You hope and you pray, but she needs a lot more than Drina to do that. And it starts from within. You can't. This is a girl who doesn't have any self-confidence. The only reason she was dry on the stand was because there's no drugs in jail that she could get to that not in Leon County. That's why she won't go to state prison. Just so sad. You're an introvert with an extrovert job. Yeah, you are. But I'm an introvert with an extrovert job. Soul sellers live in Pito. You went to a few Al-Anon meetings, but they were redundant and I didn't have the luxury of time. I can remember going through my divorce and being in a group therapy session. And if there's nothing that makes you want to off yourself, it's group therapy. All it was bitching. And I'm an action person. I was an action person then. I'm an action person now. I'm like, where are the tools that you're selling this group, right? It's a pitch. So the pitch is, we're going to be in group therapy and it's going to make you stronger and blah, 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 blah. All it made me want to do was never talk to those people again. Like that was it. You are not positive. You don't have any tools. What is the tool? Like you keep saying there's tools, and that's what I would ask. I asked the leader of the group, where's the tools? What's the tool? We will be giving you the tools. Okay, what is the tool? Waiting for the tools. Do you have a pamphlet? No, the tools. So, it's a code word. Code word for word salad. The tools. We're giving you the tools to make yourself better. No, there are no tools. All you're sitting and doing is you're already gone through the divorce. Why are you sitting there bitching about him? Like you already got your divorce. Why are you bitching about the person? Stop. You made the decision. You move on, people. Some of us move on faster than others. I agree, like me, but still, Lord have mercy. I totally own all my screw ups. My man picker is broken. I know. And we will never be perfect parents, Patty. No, you don't. I can remember 10 years old. It's my first real memory. I didn't remember much before that. And I was thinking, I could just remember where I was in the house. And I was like, my parents are human. I was like, we are only human. The whole thought process, my parents are human. And it stuck with me for whatever reason that they were human and that they were doing the best they could for what they knew. No book. Well, there are books on how to parent, but they're usually written by people who aren't parents. We have to expect when we're expecting what to expect in first 12 months and then it stops. Amen. I am so glad my I don't have to raise children right now. I would be homeschooling. I wouldn't have them in any school. Look at Jamie Lee Curtis. I mean, there's tons of them, tons of nepos, tons. And I don't even have mind that because you look at Tippi Hedren, Melanie Griffith, Dakota Johnson. Like, Dakota Johnson is very talented. She is very talented and just beautiful to look at. She really is. I'm sure she doesn't want to be known for beauty, but then don't put yourself in that like 9.5 week style movie and you won't be. But the whole Ireland too, Ireland from her mother. You're still only responsible for yourself. There's tons of nepo babies that make it and tons of nepo babies that don't. And I mentioned in Roberta Glass's chat last night, Danny Bottaducci. Danny Bottaducci is a former addict. And I think it was like the Merv Griffin show or Dinah Shore or something. He was on this talk show and he said, do you know what the worst thing about being a child actor is? And they were like, no, Danny, what is it? He goes, not being a child actor. The adulation you get, the celebrity, the cars, people want to talk to you. He couldn't sing. He's singing in some talk show like Phil Donahue or something. He's singing. The boy could not sing, but he had the ability to like sing on this national TV show. He couldn't sing. There was no auto-tune then. But he said the worst part about being a child star is no longer being a child star. And that transition for Nick Reiner, he was never a celebrity. He is no Ron Howard, okay? Ron Howard, his parents never moved out of their house. His dad was the dad. He didn't take his kids' money. He grew up as relatively normal as could physically possible be. He was a celebrity who went home and didn't go to like Drew Barrymore's party. Drew Barrymore is one. I'll do it. Drew Barrymore is one who, and she learned she had to give up alcohol too, because she wasn't going to, she'd already lost marriages. She wasn't going to lose her kids. But she had the confidence to do that. Rob Reiner was an angry person. He was difficult to have as a father. I bet he was a pushover. I bet he was 100% a pushover. He wasn't home. He wasn't home. You can't be doing 31 films and be home. So when you are home, you're like, he's the fun dad. He probably wasn't carrying the rod. In high school, all my friends smoked. My best friend smoked Marlboro Reds. None of them had the courage to smoke. I never have. Oh, when I went to high school, I graduated in 1985. So funny to me. We had a brother, right? So there's fathers, priests, and then there's sisters, and then there were brothers. And we had this brother, and there was kids couldn't smoke in high school, right? But the brothers and the priests and the sisters could, and there was a smoking area. So funny. And it was like in between, you have like 5 minutes to go from one class to another, and he's out yakking it up, coughing up a lung, smoking a cigarette. It was a different time. And then you go to Italy, and that was a shock to me. All these kids are smoking, everyone's drinking. It's just so open. But you know what I didn't see is a bunch of freaking addicts all over the ground, tweaking, as they said, or homeless people. I don't know. I don't know if it's too expensive to live in Venice as a homeless person, but I didn't see it. And I walked down alleyways at night by myself and just didn't see it. I think I saw one person on a bench in Murano. That was all. I don't know where they're putting them. I am not taking phentermine. I only take the retatrutide. How long do you have to take retatrutide? As long as I can afford it. Total, I've lost 120 pounds. Pediatric asked me how much weight have I lost total. 120 pounds. I've lost 40 since June 3rd. When did I start? June 20th. I've lost 40 since then. I lost 30 from June 20th to when I left on my trip November 13th, and then I lost another 10. Vaping is so bad, there's formaldehyde in it, plus my teenager who's in junior college since she graduated wants to be a nurse. And it's expensive. I'm telling you, cigars are the way to go. They are. I'm I have like I don't even have one once a week right now because I'm just too busy. Because when you have a cigar, you're sitting, you're relaxing. It's not a cigarette where you're huffing and puffing to get, in between classes or to be on a smoke break from work. It's like a luxurious, like conversational thing. It's very different. Very different. And I just haven't taken the time to go over there. I mean, once in a while, I'll go on my porch and I have a smaller cigar, not a cigarello, but it's a little bigger than that. And I'll smoke a cigar. Chris will come out. I'm drinking my coffee or depending on the flavor of cigar. I always have to have something sweet with it. Like I'll drink, which I have right here, like Crystal Light, something sweet. And it's luxurious. That's how I feel about it. I smoked cigars when I was in Italy for sure. It was nice. Because everyone's smoking. So it's not like, oh, she's smoking a cigar. Everybody is smoking. Everybody is smoking. No one's smoking anything with a filter. And I bet it's like old-fashioned cigarette, not like today's US cigarette with formaldehyde in it as well. I hope the best for Trina. I did not do any of that wish list because I'm sus on addicts. Me too, man. I ain't doing it. The devil has them. I think so too. With an enabler, why would an addict stop unless they want to, but can't be made to? And I think that's what the family's still doing. If the family's paying for his attorney, what do you think I would be doing? First of all, you slaughtered my mom and dad. I don't even speak to siblings, and they didn't, and nothing near that. I don't speak to them because of how they treated my parents. Absolutely never. I forgive you, but that doesn't mean I have to break bread with you. When my son got into trucks, I treated him like he was an infant. He could not be left alone for 1 minute, and we made it through. He's 36 now and has a family and 2. Congratulations. That's huge. That's what you gotta do. But you gotta be able to do it. Some people have to go to work. It's just such a conundrum. It's so hard. I just watched my sister-in-law just suffer. And so just plain suffer. California has a law in the books that says if you convicted of killing a person, you cannot inherit. I did not, John, watch it. I didn't watch any YouTube while I was away. I think I shared last time, the only thing I watched was like watercolor. Watercolor, personality, information, watched a lot of videos on Italy when I came home. For me, I could talk about it time or two, but then I need the tools. I know, but what are the tools? What are the tools? Like if you're going to an Al-Anon and they're like, these are the tools, and it's the 12 steps, fine. Fine. Those are tools. Those are actionable. I need something actionable. Not you will be getting the tools, and here's $125. No. I'm getting the tools up front, or I'm not giving you $125. Does that make sense? Like, I go to a chiropractor. He doesn't just adjust me so that I can walk without a limp. He does, here's the thing that you need to lay on. This is the arch for your neck, blah, 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 blah. He gives me actionable tools. Here's their blood pressure medication. Fine, which, by the way, I no longer have to take. Here's blood pressure medication. And if you give up cholesterol, whatever, those are actionable. Take the heart diet. Do this. Actionable tools. Here's tirzepatide. This is what you have to do. Actionable tools to not be constipated. You can't come to me, and I mean me as in like anybody, and be like, well, I'm constipated. There are ways to unconstipate yourself. Did you do it? No. Well, then I can't help you. Here's the actionable tool. You have to get ahead of the constipation when you're on these shots because it will slow your motility. If you have to go, say, get a colonoscopy, you have to be off the shot for, I think, 10 days because you have motility, so you'll have more shit in your bowels than you would normally. But they tell you that. They give you a list of things. You just had surgery. You've had a knee replacement. This is the treatment for the said knee replacement. You've had surgery and you've had a wound care. This is your actionable tools. How is it any different than when you're emotionally broken? I need actionable tools. And so I don't know where it came from, but when we were talking murder and chat, I forget who else was in it. I was like, there is no medical cure for addiction other than some of these GLPs help people with their addiction. So if you recall, I told people I started on Mounjaro, tirzepatide, and it was like 5 days before I even realized I didn't have a Diet Coke. I haven't even been eating as much gum as I used to eat. So for whatever reason, cravings were changed by this receptor in your brain. It hasn't happened for everyone, but I know they're giving it to people who have gambling addiction. I don't know why it's working for some. I don't know. But I do know that they are giving it to people who do have some addiction. So it's changing the receptors in your brain. Would it help Adrena? I have no idea. I don't know what drugs she takes. I don't even want to know what drugs she takes because it just would make me sob right now. You are given such a gift of life and you're just shooting it away, literally. It's just horrible. I'm happy to relate. My daughter is going 7 months clean and sober, but it took a DV relationship, domestic violence, to get it right. It's intense therapy and can't do it alone. She's 35, but you never gave up. I mean, Dawn, I think unless you're willing, like someone said, to sit with that person over and over. Does anyone remember that movie? It was Sissy Spacek. It's coming out of I'm going to put this in and it's going to completely change my algorithm. And it was called Night Mother. And it was Sissy Spacek. It was 1986. Sissy Spacek and Anne Bancroft. And Sissy Spacek was suicidal. Like, that's all she wanted to do. And Anne Bancroft had to sit with her and sit with her and sit with her. You got to watch the movie. It's very intense. And Sissy Spacek, even then, this is 19, whatever. Just incredible movie about wanting to not live. But that was a really good movie. And how Anne Bancroft, think of it just like any other addiction, the depression, the lack of serotonin. I don't know what happens. I just know that, thank God, I haven't been depressed like that in a very long time. And she sat with her. I mean, it was an Anne Bancroft thing where she would not leave her daughter alone. And eventually she had to leave her alone. And of course, the movie ends with Sissy Spacek no longer being with Anne Bancroft. But it's a really good movie. And I think it gives a small taste of trying to will someone to live. And I think in Adrena case like that, I'm sure she has family that loves her. I would have to pray that she does, that they're willing them to live and the other person isn't. They're just, sometimes, I don't know. It's just very hard. Danny Bonaducci was funny altogether. I don't think I think he retired right now. He had Yeah, he retired. He looks awful now. He was a radio show host for a long time, but he's older, like, oh my god, he's only 66. He's only 66. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Oh, right, he's had the facelift, that's why he doesn't look good. He has a mystery illness. Wow. Let me show you his face. It's hard to believe. Why do they do this? The ads. I guess they have to make their money somehow. Just annoys me. Look at that. Does that look like Danny? Holy cow. He had to take a medical leave. He was in Seattle. I didn't realize that. He's walking with a cane. Probably MS or Parkinson's or something. That was 4 years ago. Damn. The smart Hollywood stars move away from Hollywood and raise their kids in other states like Utah. Arizona is really popular. Permissive parenting rarely works, especially with the wild, evil ones like Nick. Yeah, I think you have to have a lot of evil because obviously the daughter had a drug issue at some point. Thanks, Bling. Thanks for the reminder. I don't think about it too often, but please hit a like if you don't mind. It's so funny to me. Like you watch, I'm a numbers person, so I'm a statistic person. I can't add, but I can watch statistics. And you watch the numbers, and I'm like, God, what did I say that they made it so bad? And then I'm like, don't worry about it, Patty. It's so funny. What's tweaking? High. High. Being high, Margaret. What I take is a shot. Phentermine was a pill. What I take is a shot. Living in that, yeah, well, she didn't live there. She lived across the street. Can you imagine? They put him in the guest house. I mean, he had an estate. Like that house was massive. How did you get through the cruise without eating the desserts? I did terrible on my cruise because of the breads, because I took a shot. How people say it. I took a shot. I took the shot while I was away. I took a shot. I don't know how to like today. Don't come at me, bro. Don't come at me. I had nothing. I don't eat before I go to mass, so I fast before mass. And then afterwards, I went and got orange Fanta. I got Chris a hoagie at Wawa because that's what he wanted, because I had to take him home and I had to go to work. I took him to the gym after that. And then I went home and his hoagie, and I ate 2 bites of his hoagie, which he doesn't mind. And because the bread's amazing at Wawa. It's so Philly. And then I came here and I was working, and I was like, you better eat, because I didn't have any protein or anything. And so I have chicken nuggets in the freezer, and I made 6 chicken nuggets and I put them in the air fryer and ate those. And then I was like, oh, I better go eat something. And so then I went to McDonald's and I got a Big Mac minus the bread. And then I ate like a total of like 1 patty, probably half of both because it had the cheese in between. And then I threw the rest away. And that's what I've eaten today, and I'm not hungry. And then before I go to bed, I'll have a yogurt. So my kidneys don't eat themselves. But I really don't eat a lot now. When I was on the cruise, okay, let's start. So when I went to Venice, and this is just about my diet, which it's not dieting, it's just what I'm choosing to eat. So I found a hotel that served eggs, because if you've been to Italy, which I did my research, they usually eat a roll or some sort of pastry with coffee for breakfast. Well, that wasn't going to work. I didn't care how much I walked that day. I wasn't going to start off with a pastry. I love eggs. So I found a hotel. I switched the hotel I was going to go and stayed at a different hotel that had a buffet with eggs and their disgusting bacon. No offense to Italians, but it's kind of like an Irish bacon. It's like ham, but it's our ham has more structure than their ham does. I just couldn't do it. It's very fatty and I didn't want that. So I had their sausage and eggs and coffee. That's it with cream. That's all I ate. And then I didn't really eat lunch. I didn't eat lunch at all. I don't think I ate lunch anywhere. I went to like I tried to eat like 4 or 5 o'clock just because I knew it was getting darker earlier, like it's dark there. And I didn't want to be walking at night by myself and eating. But one night I did. I went and got spaghetti. And so this one restaurant. You ever had a French 75? Is it a French 75? Is that what it's called? I looked it up for. Anyway, it's this freaking gin drink and yeah. Ooh, it's good. It's gin and lemon juice, simple syrup and champagne. Can I tell you how good that drink is? So I went and got a French 75 at this beautiful outdoor cafe bistro, I guess. And they're playing music. It's jazz. It's just the scene. You're right out the Basilica San Marco. And they had this brie and prosciutto sandwich. So I had that. And then they bring you potato chips with everything, potato chips. And then they brought out, I ordered something else. I don't remember what it was, but I'm sure I took a picture of it. And they brought out all these olives and nuts. I was like, no, 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 send that back. First of all, I don't eat olives, but send that back and just bring me the drink. I think, oh, no, that's what it was. I ordered I had people next to me that were from Belgium. And I was like, ooh, what are you drinking? And they're like a French 75. And I was like, ooh. So I had that, which was delicious. And that's when they brought out the, because before that I had the spritz, which is Aperol and Prosecco. And then they brought all this nut olive tray out like by myself. And I was like, no, no, take it back. I didn't even want, I didn't really eat a lot. And it wasn't, I think being on this shot makes it not as appealing. The food doesn't feel like, oh, I should be eating. Now, when father and his sister and I were out to eat, when I would eat on an excursion, we would buy a bunch of things and then try each other's. I did do that. I did have some really good tiramisu, better than I could have ever had here. I have never had a tiramisu the way they make the tiramisu. I don't think I would ever eat it again, to be honest with you, after having it over there. But it's not it's just food wasn't the primary thing. I think if I hadn't taken the shot, well, I know that food would have 100% been the primary thing, but I didn't want to spend 15 days and then end up being fatter in my airplane seat coming home than I was going over there. In fact, I weighed less. I left clothes in Europe. I only smoke 100% tobacco and I take all the filter off because that's where all the chemicals and crap is. Can't you roll your own tobacco? Like, I think my sister did that. She bought papers and was rolling her tobacco. How is it getting it? How is it getting this? Well, Ronnie, it was easy to get on Alpha Omega website up until 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? Now it's not. So they're obviously getting ready, Eli Lilly, to approve it with the FDA. And then who knows what it'll cost. This episode is paralleling your life, says Jerry. It was years before I adopted Top Love. My son will be 60 on the 14th and has been incarcerated more than he has been out. He's become institutionalized. I am so sorry, Jerry. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I know the people I know close to me when the child, and again, they're not alive now, so they got out of jail, were incarcerated, she could relax. I'm just so sorry because you just think. I mean, that's all you do is think. That's all I do. When I think my kids aren't in freaking, where are my kids? Like, I think sometimes my kids, which blessings to them, I had my son-in-law and my 2 children all in Afghanistan at the same time, and that changed how I thought about parenting because I realized I just remember I carried 2 phones. I kept a phone under my bed, under my head, and the ringer on 24 hours a day. I knew that I mean, it was just heady. I was in my head a lot. And then I can remember, my son-in-law had a friend come home from North Carolina and from Afghanistan, and he was on his 30-day thing. Because so once you're there for 6 months, they send you home for, like, a week or so, whatever it is. And he got hit by a car. And it stunned me into reality and thinking his parents probably sweated and mounted the same kind of worry train that I had been mounting for those 3 precious souls, and he comes home and gets hit by a car. There was literally nothing you could do, and it changed the way I thought about everything. Um, my son, who's my middle, just drove up yesterday from Florida back to Ohio and didn't tell me, and so I called him today and I was like, "Where are you?" I knew where he was. 'Cause I knew what day it was, and he was like, "Well, I'm in Ohio," and I was like, thanks for telling me." He's like, "My apologies," but he probably didn't want me to think about it. He didn't probably want me to get in my head, so it wasn't gonna change where he was. He still took my call, so it's what mattered, but it's hard. You have gained another person's weight, quit smoking. Well, I would talk to your I would talk to your doctor. I mean, I know not everyone is into giving themselves a shot, but I would absolutely talk to your doctor. We make our own cigarettes with cigar tobacco, no chemicals. Good for you. How are you getting the med? The website Alpha Omega that I gave everybody, but you can't get it anymore. It literally changed December 31st. We all need nicotine. Nicotine is in tomatoes. I didn't know that, Tater. But you're addicted to food. Yeah, I would really consider it. I would talk to your doctor about it and just know that I mean, I never would have been able to give up Diet Coke on my own. It wasn't even a thing. Like, I didn't even realize I didn't have it. I think we went on the radio and, I told Scott's like, "Do you want a Diet Coke?" I'm like, "No." And he's like, "What is wrong?" And that's when it kinda hit me that I hadn't had a Diet Coke, but it was the taste of it. And I can remember telling him and he looked at me odd, but you don't know Scott, but if you did, you'd know he looks at me odd a lot. And I'm like, "I don't have a taste for it." What is this, 1965? You don't have a taste for something? I'm like, don't have a taste for it." You read a lot of books and materials. You were a we are all so powerless, and I think that's the hard part. I think, like, I don't you don't wanna make it about religion, but when you don't believe in God, and let's face it, the likelihood that Rob Reiner had a spiritual life is pretty low. He could have, but the way he lived is probably not. And Lord knows his kids probably don't have a spiritual life. So when you don't have a spiritual life, you until you realize you really are, even when you do have a spiritual life, you are powerless to change the outcome of anything. Anything. If I mean, there was another murder today on Mission Road here in town. And I'm so, what's the word? Like, um, not bitter, but I'm like so mm, just like used to it. And I was like, ah, different day, same road. Because there's murders on that road all the time. Mission Road. I don't know why there's murders there all the time. I don't go to Mission Road. I don't even like to drive down Mission Road. It's a big road. Like, it's a throughway. It's a big, like, 4-lane road. But I'm like, "Oh, it's another day." Nicotine to stop Alzheimer's. Well, that would be interesting. cure me from all my addictions. Well, I think my addiction, you can get addicted to exercise. Well, that's never happening. I don't know. I mean, I knew I was addicted to Diet Coke, but mm, I'm not addicted to cigars because I don't even have one on a regular basis. I only have it's a social thing. But did you hear about the 19-year-old out of Texas who went missing Christmas Eve? Yes. She unalived herself. 19 years old. She was a beautiful girl. I think when you're looking at heroin, methamphetamine, cigarette, no, cigarettes aren't so bad. I just don't think it's so bad. If it's the oral fixation or you just have to have something in your hand, go for it. David Cassidy cast a huge shadow, and he was an addict. He looks rough, but he changed his life around. I mean, he went into radio, which radio is not easy. I can't imagine having a national radio show. I can't imagine. It's hard. It's very, it's like this. It's very, um, well, he might have had scripted. Everything I do is non-scripted. So it's very open. You're bearing your soul on YouTube. I've been bearing my soul for 2 hours and 30 minutes. I don't know. Well, I know I couldn't have done it when the kids were younger. Like I couldn't have been a realtor when the kids were younger. Couldn't have done it. But I do, radio's hard. It's hard to get people's attention. You don't know who your audience is. You don't like the radio station I work with, they don't pay for the ratings. So I have no idea who listens, watches me on Facebook Live, cusses me out when they're in the car. I have no idea. And that was really hard for me. I really struggled with because I do like numbers. I want outcomes. I need to know if I say this, how many people are listening? Did they turn it off? Did they not turn it off? Am I saying too much? I say just a lot. It's just this. Yeah. And I've been working on it in the last few weeks. What words make me sound more annoying than other words? You don't know. Radio's hard. It's like this. I can say something so outlandish, my numbers will go up 400 or 500. I mean, talk about 400 or 500 subscribers. The next episode I do on YouTube, I'll be the nicest person in the room, and they go down 600. Like, I'm like, is it that wishy-washy on YouTube? Is it really that wishy-washy? Because I know now, over years, my radio audience is very loyal. Very, very loyal. Patty, where are you? Just like you all here are in the chat. Patty, where are you? What are you doing? Are you okay? Where's Scott? Scott thought Scott would be on. How'd you get that guest? Very loyal, very questioning. YouTube is very different. Very different. You had an outdoor smoking lounge at your high school. Yeah. Like graduated 84. High school had a smoking area. I have a question about Wendi. Do you think it's possible they have not arrested her in case Charlie gets a new trial? I don't know. I mean, it's as good a question as all. I mean, face it, if Donna had not gotten on that plane or attempted to get on that plane, they would not have arrested Donna. I do not believe they would have. They said they were planning on it, but they didn't. They couldn't even decide to get the warrant together when they knew she was leaving town at night. They were him-hawing around about getting the warrant. Yeah, I do think that. In my daughter's program, they don't recommend quitting smoking for the first year. I would agree. You can only do so much. Like, let's see. So even when I'm giving stuff up, Right now, it's just clothing. We've given a lot of food away just because I'm never eating it. Um, but right now I've been going through clothing and shoes and getting rid of that. And then after that, I'm gonna do, you know, photos. I scan a lot of photos just to get rid of it. I still have the old photos. I can't bear to get rid of them. Like to touch them and to look at them, but I do have them scanned for safety. Um, but I don't have a big house. I only have 1,100 square feet. But right now it's clothing, and I just give clothes away. I mean, I could sell them, but how long does that take? Nobody has time for that. So I just get rid of it. So I do things in layers. Now I've got 120 pounds off, which is a human, and I have started walking because now you're gonna think I'm even odder than I already sound, but my calves are like tree trunks, and they're my father's calves, and I know it, and I'm very self-aware of it, but they're still unattractive. Could I just get an inch off the calves? Everywhere else and the back fat. I do have the back fat still, a little bit. Um, my neck is still a little like I was gonna wear a mock turtleneck at Christmas, but my neck fat kind of went over the shirt. I was like, absolutely not. I'm not wearing that. I'll just hold it. And if I lose weight, great. If not, I'll get rid of it next year. Because it's something that can only really be worn at um winter time and for more formal. So I was like, I'll just keep it for 1 more year, and if I don't, I'm getting rid of it. Because when I saw my chin fat come over that mock turtleneck, I was like, absolutely not. No. I didn't lose all this weight to look like that. You know what I'm saying? Wear the right clothes. So, but I have started walking and stretching my calves. It's harder for me, and it's not an excuse, but I ruptured my Achilles, so my calf is jacked up, and I'm not willing to go to the surgery and be down for 8 weeks. It's not happening. But I do things in layers. You're gonna go get cheese and crackers. Well, you need to eat, Susan. Boy, I do love the cheese. I do love the cheese. That has not changed. I was probably the only one at dinner. Well, it was like a you have a sandwich, like, I don't know how to describe it, but there's people out, and there's so many tourists out, so did you know anyone else on your Italy trip? For the first 4 days, which was lovely, I can't even begin to tell you how lovely it was, 3.5 days total, I was there by myself. And then for the cruise and for the Rome extension of the cruise, I have 37 new friends that were there. So they were all with my church or with a neighboring Catholic church. Father Tom, who was our priest, he knew them. And so I got to know people that I didn't know. But yeah, we had so much fun. Takes as long to get back out of the woods as it did get in the woods. Oh my God, Tater, it's so true. The shot diminishes the desire for food. So I didn't lose 120 pounds since June. I started in 2020 with COVID when I realized that people were fat, were on ventilators, and it was a big risk. That's when I started losing weight. And that majority of that was intermittent fasting. Nutrition has to go with it. The brain needs the nutrients to heal. I think the brain needs protein. I don't think the brain needs a lot of carbohydrates. In fact, I know it doesn't. Um, but I think fat and protein. And I do eat salad. Like I crave salad, which is hilarious to me. I do not like I only like light you remember Runaway Bride and Julia Roberts, and it's an egg, and she didn't really know what kind of egg she liked, right? She was like, "Do I like scrambled egg? Do I like omelet? Do I call it a dippy leg, like over easy egg, poached." She didn't know what she liked. So going through this, I realized I don't like I don't even know what it's called, but the purpley leafy lettuce, ugh, please don't make me please don't make me eat that. I like either iceberg or romaine. That's it. So I ask people, like, if you're bringing out one of those limpy lettuce salad thingies and charging $15 for it, skip it. I don't want it. I'll order a Caesar and just to get the different dressing on it and order a different dressing just to get crunchy because I need the crunch. You had French 75s on New Year's Eve. Can I even tell you? So good. So good. I remember having it, and the ladies from Belgium. The other one had something with was it Negroni? Was that it? Yeah, it was a Negroni. She had a Negroni, and the other lady had a French 75, and I was like, "Well, I don't like vermouth, so that's not an issue. I'm not having the Negroni." And I was like, girl, this is good. This was good. Very, very good. It's normal motherly instinct to not want your kid. Thank you, Murder, for making me feel better. I did not want them to hit an IED. And my daughter, bless her heart, this cute little redhead over in freaking Afghanistan working in a freaking prison as an electrician. Imagine that. That was fun to hear. I told her not to tell me anymore. They were so disgusting. Oh, he was an atheist. Okay, that makes me feel better. Yeah, well, I got an email from Alpha Omega, but I didn't read it. So my girlfriend read it and she's like, "Patty, did you hear?" And I was like, "What?" And so I went in and ordered a year's worth. So I have a year's worth of shot. He was a proud atheist. Dude, you cannot possibly believe you are the finite answer to all. And if you do believe it, you're a moron. And I mean that with all due respect. And I say this as a nurse. If you look, I had the privilege one day, this woman passed away. She had lung cancer and she died in like a week. She's gone. And she was a mom. She had 2 kids. I still remember her name. I'm not going to say it or her husband or any of that. Or where she lived because I think something had to do with that, but that's just me. And she was donating her eyes because that's all she could donate because she had lung cancer and can't donate skin or anything else. And the guy coming in to pick up who was going to do the necessary treatment to remove the eye did it in the room, which he got in trouble for. I didn't know you couldn't do it. So I was like, I've never been, no one ever asked me and he didn't ask me. He just came in and he's like, I'm going to do it. And I was like, can I watch? And he was like, sure. So he proceeds with the scalpel, cleans her up, does this whole thing to take apart her eye. And I was fine with it until he put it in a container marked human eye. And that's when I thought, oh my God, I'm about to put out. But I still don't like eyes. I have to go to the eye doctor next week. And I'm like, I hate it. But you cannot look at the inside of a human eye or the inside of a kidney, which is like the Milky Way. There's so much to a kidney. And be like, huh, evolution. You can't. You couldn't possibly. There's no way. There's just no way. Every time I think about that one, every time I question my own spirituality, belief in God, and I do frequently. I did after leaving Herculaneum. I really was like, damn, this is intense. It's an intense location and a lot to see when you're there and you're looking 90 feet up at the road and all of these people choosing to live around this volcano still to this day. It's just a lot. And thinking, yep, Evolution. No. Mm-mm. Not at all. There's a finite hand or an infinite hand over us, and bad things happen to everybody. Not just good people, not just bad people, but to everybody. And it's a shame. It's a shame if people believe you don't have to believe in Catholicism. Good, I mean, I'm just a cradle Catholic that loves their church. But if you like, how on earth could you watch a child being born or infertility become fertile and not thank God there's a hand of God somewhere in there? You just can't. You cannot. It just blows my mind. But I'll always go back to the inside of that eye and that kid getting in trouble after he wasn't a kid, but after he did it, because he shouldn't have done it in the room. He should have been in the morgue when he did it. I was like, "Ooh, he's gonna get in trouble," because I didn't know. I didn't well, who was I to stop him? And he had an order. He was like, "Oh, they're gonna harvest." That's the word, harvest. And I saw that eye and was like, "Oh, that's a hand of God." There's no way. There's just no way. Mm-mm. You were addicted to Coca-Cola for 2 years, and that was the worst 2 years I was cracked out on sugar. Well, mine was Diet Coke, so my nephew was in Iraq for 3 tours. He was discharged after his tours and came back to oh my god, Dieters, I am so sorry. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. So sorry. I think 3 tours is entirely too many. So, so sorry. It's just too much. I say a silent prayer every time I hear an emergency, praying those involved. I know. And affected by the emergency. You go to these like the all of these murder suicides. I used to watch the Daily Mail or read it all the time. I had to stop. I had to stop because I felt like all they are reporting on is a murder suicide. This mother took her 2 kids out on Christmas Eve. Who does that? What is going on in the house that no one's going, "Hey, you need help"? You know what they're supposed to do? I can't remember her name. I don't want to remember names, so don't tell me. That woman who took out all her kids in Texas. They're like the 7 of them. And he's just walking around going, "She's fine. She had a postpartum. No, everything's good. Everything's good." And the people have to go in behind that. The people here in town, after Phoenix Eichner went in and shot up FSU, had to go behind that before it was even over and help clean that shit up. Unbelievable. Aspartame or other sugar substitutes stored in your organs and you crave carbs. I know. Why I don't do it anymore. But I didn't know I wasn't doing it. It wasn't my own choice because I really love the flavor I did of Diet Coke. Now I do not love the flavor. I like a McDonald's Diet Coke, but I don't like if I went to our convenience store here, I don't like it. Danny looks better than he did 10 years ago. What is happening in Tally on the daily? Murder. Sodas of the devil. I remember episode All in Family Meathead, which if you know, Rob Reiner played Meathead. Didn't want his child be brought up religiously until the child was old enough to decide, and then he gave raspberry to God. I forget why. I still take phentermine from time to time, much less when I started. A 30-day supply lasts you 3 months. Well, that's probably what I should have done because I just wanted to sleep. A flavored sparkling water. So I do that. I don't do like LaCroix. I don't like it. I don't like the essence of flavor. I either want it to have flavor or not have flavor. So I'll do a club soda with like a Crystal Light, or I'll just do club soda with lemon or lime. But I do have bottles of club soda, and I have one of those soda machines where I can do that at home. But I like club soda. And when I went to Italy, everything is gas, half gas. What is it? How they like half gas. Their water is sparkling water. You want some half gas? Sure, I'd love some half gas. Nicotine is interesting because if you need to relax and sleep, it will do that, but if you need to wake up and get going, it will also do that. It is fascinating, isn't it? It will also help you lose weight. I have bird legs, Patty, I don't know what's wor oh my come on. My tree trunk legs are like Wendy's neck, 100%. I don't have cankles, though. I have nice ankles. It's just beyond that. Everybody does need to eat a lot of meat. You're gonna have an orange. Good for you, Mr. Ziggy. Chorizo. Just eat Wendy consuming anything out of joy pisses me off. Max, where's Mac? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know where she is. Patty, the way you talk about your children are a compliment. She did an excellent job. Well, I would like to think so. But you know what I did? I told them no. Their father was more permissive. I told them no, and I encouraged the military. That was it. I encouraged the military. I feel for Dorina, however, she needs deep therapy and a recovery program and a sponsor. You can't do it alone. I wonder if they do give them sponsors in the jail. Does anyone know? Does anyone know if they have sponsors in jails? I'm gonna ask somebody. I know a guy at church who does prison ministry. I'm gonna ask him. I'll see him tomorrow. We can't even grow something without the seed. Chicken or the egg. I mean, you just can't. It's just crazy. My buddy had severe OCD, is addicted to drinking Diet Coke. It was really bad back then. How do you survive? How does your heart survive with 48 cans a day? And how do you afford it? I think the drugs are cheaper. Oh, yeah, she was possessed. I think sodas and sugar are harder than nicotine. When Chris, random man, that's what I call my husband. He's so random. One day he's decided, this is years ago, I'm going to give up sugar. I think I told you last time I was on this like show, and it was fine for him, hell for me. He was so pissed all the time. I just wanted to stick cane sugar in his food. Like, God, because he decided to go cold turkey. Your husband tells you you don't have enough blood in your Diet Coke system. That's funny, Debbie. Wild strawberry crystal light with caffeine and unflavored LaCroix is my daily drink. Nice. I didn't know it had I didn't know it had caffeine in it. I never heard of a sponsor in jail, but why not? I mean, well, I guess it's not really realistic because you'd have to be able to call them whenever you're feeling it. Hi, Bob. Thank you for the super sticker. That's nice. Thank you so much. Very nice. And Manira, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I know Bob, why me is moderator. So I have to know who their real name is. What's your real name, Bob? I have no idea who you are. No idea. None. Ugh. I'm gonna see that woman's face and I just get so upset. Wendy's. Mm. I'm gonna go. It's almost 12:30. Tomorrow's a work day. I quit drinking Diet Coke 5 years ago. I think it tastes nasty now, but I always went to the soda machine before going to my office. I loved it. It just doesn't taste the same. Oh, yes, let me do that. Thank you. Bless your heart, Debbie. Let me go on the YouTube and do that. Very smart woman to tell me and remind me of what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh. Same. Go. There is 5. And there's the other 5. Yay. Oh, you think it's Jenny. Oh, okay. Thanks, Debbie. Well, welcome new members. Thank you for reminding me, Debbie. Good night, everyone. Night, Blue River. Night, everyone. I can't say night to everybody. Hope you all have a great evening. Take care. Have a great night. Bye-bye.